Welcome tonight to this installment, this episode of Love and the Scripture. So good to have you with us. So good to be able to be here on tonight. As always, you're invited, ma'am. You're invited, sir, to be thought partner, conversation partner with us in this. Um, we are I'm getting, of course, the other sites, Instagram and Facebook tied in. um we are in October, Pastors Appreciation Month, Clergy Appreciation Month, and um tonight that's what we're actually going to be talking about. We've gone through the four pillars of love in the scriptures. um we want to move into what a heritage celebration, or at least an acknowledgement, celebration acknowledgement of what this month is about, and that is Pastor Appreciation Month. And I know somebody's going to say, but this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Uh, and this month is, somebody will say, from September 15th to October 15th, that this is Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'll say yes to both of those things. That is true. Um, and maybe I will say a word about Hispanic Latin American Heritage Month. Uh, in terms of breast cancer awareness, a couple of things. Let me say. Number one, I'm pouring my drink into my cup. That's what I'm looking at over. It's green tea in my drink. I'm still in my classroom. My drink is green tea. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And so I'm getting that set up. Um, One, I think Breast Cancer Awareness Month gets plenty of attention, and so necessarily what I, from my corner of the universe, is not necessary for me to give attention also, because I believe it receives plenty enough attention, especially when I noticed several years ago that the NFL, that sports leagues, that athletic leagues, professional athletic leagues actually have taken up um, to do uh, um, uh, awareness for breast cancer. And so I don't, from my corner of the universe, let me say it again that way, I don't believe that I need to give any more attention to that. I believe it's has the kind of support to make it a more than successful movement. And then I have some other thoughts too that I actually won't share about breast cancer awareness and all of the support and all of the stuff that's surrounding it. If you are interested in hearing that, or want to know what my of the other things that I would say about that are, then you can message me. You can, by some other means, like, message me or whatever, and we can talk about that. I don't mind discussing it in that way. Of course, too. I mean, if somebody here and wants to talk about it in a live way, then we can do that too. But I'll only discuss it in a live way, on a live forum this way, if somebody asks for it. All right, Sister Portia, hello there. I'm reaching right over here to this, and we're going to start our discussion today on Pastors Appreciation Month. And I invite you, ma'am, I invite you, sir, come be a thought partner, come be a conversation partner with me tonight on this Love in the Scriptures discussion for Pastors Appreciation Month. I'm getting an indication that I need to start one of my devices. Don't understand what's happening there. Don't understand. This technology stuff, y'all. Pray with a brother. You know you got to pray with me on this technology stuff. I always need the prayers. I always need them. I always need them. All right. And so, Pastors Appreciation Month. One of the things that I have to say as I'm starting this discussion, I'm reaching for this phone. The first thing I have to say as I'm starting this discussion is that it is only when I was pastoring in Kansas that I even learned about Pastors Appreciation Month. One of the reasons that is true is because it has not been that very long that it has been a national observance, national celebration. And so what I'm finding is that in white circles, white Christian circles, that Pastors Appreciation is known and is celebrated, and people know about it. But in African American church circles, not so much. It's not really known in our churches and in our circles. And so, of course, for me, what is important for me then is to do my due diligence to make an awareness, talk about awareness of October as Pastors Appreciation Month. There are, I think, and I have to be honest, I try to be as honest as I can be with us. There are two reasons that I see myself or see it important for me to actually announce and even promote Pastoral Appreciation Month. One of those reasons it's professional. The other reason is very personal. On the professional side, what is true is that I believe that to too serious of a degree that pastoring and that ministry is a thankless job. What do I mean by that? A thankless job in the sense that for what ministry requires and for what ministers do, the level of appreciation and or thankfulness that people have for it, I believe, is at a critical, absolute minimum. Even to the place where people expect certain things from their pastors, from their ministry leaders, and in that expectation, even in a sense of an entitlement, that you got to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're expected to do this. That people, in having received, are not reciprocating thankfulness and appreciation for what they receive. I wonder if I will talk about, because there are stories that can be told to give evidence to what I'm actually saying. But I wondered if I was going to And I guess I have to do the full sweep of it, because I intend to talk about the shortcomings and the way that pastors and ministry leaders grossly abuse, misuse, and the negative aspect that actually comes from ministers and ministry to people. I intend to mention that in these next couple this week, next week, that we actually do talk. And so I guess I have to give the full sweep on the whole full sweep on how it goes. When I'm looking up dates, and I told you I've adjusted my seating here in my classroom so I can actually use this smart board up here to present information while the show is going on. But obviously, this is a sensitive subject to me, and so my public opinion, because I believe that the role, that the job is so thankless, so that so many people don't appreciate what it's about and what what it entails, then that's one of the reasons that I believe promoting Pastor Appreciation Month is important for me personally, to promote it, to here's the word again, bring awareness to the fact that there should be proper recognition given to those who take up this life, who live this life and do the work of ministry, because this, as different than most other professions, most other jobs that people do and go into, pastoral ministry, full-time ministry, clergy roles, for those who make a commitment to them, the commitment is just not the work. The commitment is the life. All right. So let me back up right quick and give this that Pastor Appreciation Month, Focus on the Family, a global Christian organization named October as Pastor Appreciation Month. The year, and this is a surprise to me, 1994. The goal of this month was to promote a specific time of the year for members of the church to, and I'm reading it from here, you can Google it and see it yourself, to financially support their ministry. This is what is coming up as the origin of Pastors Appreciation Month. It's taking a different spin in terms of my understanding, as it was introduced to me as a celebration. But the goal to promote a specific time of year to acknowledge the church members, for the members of the church. And I hear people of African American churches will say, well, we already do that for pastors' anniversary. We do that every year for pastors' anniversary. We already set a specific time to honor, to celebrate our pastor. And that's pastor's anniversary. And I would say to that, that's good, that's well, wonderful, fine. Absolutely. If you do that, do that. But don't neglect any opportunity there is to celebrate and to honor someone who cares for your soul. All right. And I want to make sure I got that piece in to understand the origin, see where it came from. Okay. So it's 1994, and actually focus on the family, which was a Christian radio broadcast for years. I guess it may still be on, even though Dobson, the founder of it, is not there anymore. And so this, let me goes back to my reason. Two reasons: as a professional or public reason that I have taken up to promote Pastors Appreciation Month, and then there's a personal one. What about a minister who refuses to accept monetary gifts? I know some who will. It all doesn't have to be monetary, though. But I have to say, monetary gifts are always a blessing, but if there are some who don't or won't accept it, then there are ways to appreciate. There are many other ways to be able to appreciate people. Gift cards, memberships, things like that are other ways. Good question, Sister Portia out there in San Francisco area. But there are several other ways to be able to be a blessing. Um, like I said, gift cards, memberships, or things like that are ways as well. Um, and so, because third time I'm saying this again, I'm not doing a broken record syndrome. I'm completely aware of where I am, what I'm saying, what I'm doing. Because the job too often is a thankless job, I've made it a personal thing for me to promote Pastor Appreciate. That's the public reason that I have for. Here is the personal and private reason. And y'all judge me however you will. I'm not one of those people who say don't judge me. To reserve your judgment. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a public figure. I teach in a public high school. My day job teaching in a public high school, and I am a pastor of a church. I'm a professional person. I'm a person who has two professions that interface with the public. Okay, and so. I'm in everybody's face on a day-to-day basis, Monday through Friday here at school, and then on Sundays at church. I'm a public figure. So I'm not one of them people that say don't judge me. I say the opposite. I say do judge me, because what I do as a minister, again, the calling is a life calling. The calling to pastor, the minister, is not just work. Our life, and that's what I started saying a minute ago, how different we are from other professions is because we give our lives to the work that we do. And so the calling, when God calls you to ministry, he doesn't just call you to work. He calls you for your life. He wants your whole life, okay, when you come to this work. And so that's a difference than other jobs. Hey, my friend. Hey, Miss D, Tess McGregor, Dvorak, there in South Haven, Kansas. So good to see you. Good to have you with us on here. And so, guys, it's not just, and you can tell the difference from ministers, from pastors, from people in ministry who just see it as work rather than their lives. You can tell a difference in people who ministry for them is not about having given their lives in the service of the Lord. You can tell the difference. But the call is not just to the work. God calls us to give our lives again. When we're saved, we give our lives to him. But when you are called into ministry, that's giving your life another time to the Lord as well. And so in this, it becomes so deeply personal to me, because as someone who has given his life to ministry, that means, yes, the spiritual aspect of me giving it to the Lord, but then the aspect of me taking the next step to be trained. I don't know how many years I spent in school and Bible college and then seminary, because all of the work I did in that regard, several different types of schools. I know how much money I've spent, okay? And all of that goes into the aspects, the time that I've spent to study and to train myself, the money that has gone into developing myself professionally. People, as you minister to them, don't realize just how much, and I'm telling you all, this is personal. I'm giving my personal reason for why I promote and publicly support Pastor Appreciation Month, because of the way I have invested in preparing myself. When people don't recognize what I bring, That's not a good feeling. When you have people at whatever level in your church or that you're ministering to who challenge you in a way where they think they know more than you, where they think that they could do your job better than you, that they challenge you in ways um, they challenge you in ways where they're not even qualified to stand before you. And I know how that sounds. That's why I said to you, I'm giving my personal opinion, and I'm saying, do judge me. Tell me what you think about what I'm saying. I'm not the guy who says don't judge me. Tell me how what I'm saying is falling on your ears. When you have that experience where the person comes up in your face and call you out on something you may have said or a decision you have made, when you have years, when you have tears, when you have blood, when you have mud, when you have sweat, and almost have regret for all of the training and experience that you've gone through, and they come up to you wagging their finger in your face and calling your decision, which in effect is calling your integrity into question, that is not a good look. And so I promote Pastor Appreciation Month because for those who have prepared themselves, for those who have given themselves and give themselves to this ministry, they need support that cannot come from the other side of the pulpit. There has to be support in the fraternity. And I ain't talking about worldly fraternities. I'm talking about fraternity in the sense of being in the group who has the same call. There has to be support that comes to us from us. And so I'm an ardent supporter. I'm a stalwart for supporting Pastoral Appreciation Month because my colleagues who are in this ministry, my yoke fellows, my sister and brother proclaimers, all of us have, I think, or at least let me say it this way, I have the responsibility to support them in their call because I understand what being called and what being in the work is. Sister Colleen Marie, hello, sweetheart. So good to have you here from the Broken Arrow area. She says that part right there is what giving your life looks like. Talk to me. The level of investment, time, money, and tears. Absolutely true. Yes, indeed. And again, I have to say it. Let me say it this way, that members look at degrees. You know, if you got a degree on the wall, and especially when it comes to calling a pastor, they look at degrees and they look at that kind of thing, but don't understand that that degree, oh boy, has a pound of human flesh that is actually attached to it. Okay, you looking at the sheepskin, you looking at the letters on it, you looking at the institution, you looking at the actual what is it? The specific discipline, without realizing 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, however many years it has taken, and what toll has been paid to actually earn that degree. People don't realize that when I come to pray for you, I bring 8 years of experience with God. I bring 8 years of classroom training. I bring 8 years of bantering back and forth with professors, and I bring 8 years of having written papers. I bring 8 years of having to eat my tears. I bring 8 years of having sacrificed other things that I wanted to do so that I could get this body, get this mind, get this heart ready to come and to serve you. And to have the level of respect or disrespect that comes that way. That's my personal reason for being such an ardent supporter of Pastor Clergy Appreciation Month, because I understand what my colleagues go through, and they need support. We need support that can't come from the other side of the pulpit, because we know what the others of us who are in this work do. There's a way that only we can really support us in some areas, because we're the only ones who really understand. And so those are my two reasons. Pastor Appreciation Month. Let me tell you what I want to do for next week. And I'm going to ask you all to help think with me through this so we can discuss it on next time. I want to talk about pastoring. Let me see. I've seen you bring it, and you do it very well. Thank you, Sister Tess. Bless you. I appreciate you saying that. Next week, I want to talk about pastoring. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I want to talk about on tomorrow. Sister Kathy, hello there. We appreciate you, she says. She and Brother CL over there in Branson, Missouri. God bless you all for being on here. Thank you so much. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about pastoring, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And what I'm going to do, there are a couple of scriptures that I want for you to look at, and I'm gonna make it hard for you. That's what I do. I'm giving homework tonight. What I want you to do is the scripture in Jeremiah where God says, "I will give you pastors after my own heart." Find that text. I'm telling you, it's in Jeremiah, and so bring that back. That's one of the ones we're gonna discuss next time. And then, Paul says to Timothy, those who rule well count with double honor. Find that text. Those are going to be the two texts that we're going to talk about next time as we deal with pastoring, the good, the bad, and the ugly. God bless you. See you next week, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Love and the Scriptures. Good night now.